Hey, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be doing another LeetCode 75 problem. Today's problem is can place flowers. So this is another easy array question. We're going to be learning a little bit of logic here as well. So let's dive into it. So the problem is we're given an array which it represents a flower bed, 0 denoting no flowers, 1 denoting flowers placed there. And we're also given an integer n, which is the number of flowers you have to place, and we have to return true or false based on whether or not we can place this amount of flowers with no adjacent flowers in the flower bed. So for this array, we're only able to place one flower, and that would be right here, because both of these spots before and after each flower have to be empty. But if we're given n is like 2 flowers for the same array, we are not able to place enough flowers there. So let's dive right into it. First thing we'll do is just bounds check. So if n is equal to 0, if there's no flowers to place, right, we'll just immediately return true. Otherwise, we'll do a loop. So for I in range, which is going to be the length of the flower bed. And the main condition here that we have to check is if the current index at the flower bed is empty, right? Then and only then we can evaluate the adjacent spot. So if the current one is empty, then we are going to check the previous one, right? And the next one, so flower bed at I plus 1. So we have to make sure at both of these spots there are no flowers there. Then what we can do is place a flower there, right, is equal to 1, and decrement the number of flowers we have to plant. But one thing to note here is that we may run into an array out of bounds exception. So a creative way to solve that is just by a little bit of logic. So we'll just convert this statement into, so if I is equal to 0, or, right? So that essentially just means if it's the first index, then we don't need to check it. So in every other case, we want to check it, right? Because this will only value to true for the first index. And then we won't check the previous index, like 0 minus 1, negative 1, we won't check that index. And similarly with here, we want to do the same thing. So if I is the last, right? So if I is equal to the length of the flower bed, minus 1, or, right? So if it's the last one, we also don't want to check the one in front of it. So 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it's this one, we don't want to check index 5, right? Otherwise it'll throw an exception. So this will only value to true at the last element, so we won't bother doing this. And in every other case, this will value to false, so it'll check the one in front every other time. So that should be it. Now we just check if now after decrementing a flower, right, are there no more flowers left to plant? If that's the case, we'll return true because we've planted all the flowers. Otherwise, we have looped through the entire array and we haven't found a spot for whatever amount of flowers that are left, so we'll just return false. And that should be it. So we'll go ahead and submit. And there we have it, accepted. And this is O of n solution. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.